Hello and welcome to the video. This is a very quick video just looking at another version of these kind of small mini indoor quadcopters. This is the Redpawz R010 mini RC quadcopter. This one came from Geek Buying, and I tend to find that I'm ordering one or two of these when I spot that they're at a reasonable price, and this one just happened to be pretty good. It's about 12 quid without the additional battery, and it's just under £15 with the additional battery as well. Though you can buy the extra batteries, but it's almost half the cost of the actual vehicle. So personally, I'd always get the one that comes with the extra battery as well. Now the reason that I'm showing you this here is I've been buying a couple of these and handing them out to the children in the family and also the children of friends who want to get into quadcopters. And it's a great way for those kids to have a go at flying a quadcopter, and it's small enough so they hopefully won't damage it or anything around, but it also gives them the chance to actually learn to fly the basics and figure out whether or not it's something they want to put all the time and effort into to learn to fly. Because looking at a lot of the videos on YouTube, it gives the impression that 2 minutes after opening the box, you're flying around and you're having a whale of a time. So there's no chance I'm going to be handing over the control sticks of one of the quadcopters that I've got here to one of those kids until they've mastered flying this thing around. So the way this one comes in the box is very, very similar from lots of others that we've seen. As you pull it out, it's a stacked set of clear plastic holders. There is a set of spare props in here, which is very handy. In my experience, it doesn't tend to break the props. You tend to break the actual chassis itself, but this kind of price, if it gets completely destroyed, it's not a heartbreaker. Then you've got the main event. This one doesn't have any FPV gear. It has a very similar snap-on canopy to others that we've looked at, but I have actually done another video where we put a little FPV camera on the top of this and turned it into a little FPV flyer as well. Once you're under that, then you have the radio control that comes with it. It's a rather basic thing. This is pretty standard. They all seem to use this very small, cramped one. If you're giving this to a kid that's an Xbox or PlayStation player, then they are going to get to grips with it very quickly. As usual, the Mode 2 setup. As usual, the springs on this are a little bit tight. The throttle's on the left hand side, so they're going to learn to fly Mode 2, but with a bit of practice you can have it flying around half decently. Pressing the throttle button in on the left hand side will give you headless mode. There is also the option to get it to flip and roll and do other things as well, just like pretty much every other one of these types around. To fly, pretty standard stuff. You plug it in and it takes about 2 hours to charge, which is absolutely why you need at least one other battery with this thing, because you'll only get about, it says 6 minutes on the website. I think realistically you should be aiming for about 5. Anything over that you're going to be pushing the battery quite hard. But that does mean you have to wait around for the battery to be charged, then you get 5 minutes of fun and then you're back to sticking the battery on. This is absolutely an indoor quad, hovers quite nicely, very stable as you'd expect, and with a little bit of trim you can have it hovering around, upsetting the dog and cat. It will also cope outside in very light winds, and here in the back garden I'm just zooming around having a whale of time with it. So I just wanted to mention this one to you. This one seems to work just like the others that we've tried here and makes a great present for those younger people in the family who want to have a crack at it. Or if you're just looking at trying a quadcopter and you don't want to break the bank, then it's kind of a bit of a gateway drug to get you into the larger models as well. For me, this kind of thing is really handy because I actually learned to hover nose in, where the quad is facing towards you, on something very similar to this quite a few years ago now, and it was something that I always had a problem with the larger quads. I was always worrying about it, but with a model very similar to this, I went through battery after battery after battery through one very dark, wet, windy winter, and by the time spring came around I had it absolutely mastered. So these things can also be useful for those kind of lessons for us more experienced pilots too. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video, and particularly for watching right to the very end. We try and release a video on Tuesday and Friday, and sometimes we'll release 1 or 2 extra ones in a week as well. All of the videos on the channel are organised into easy to use playlists, so do have a look in there, because if you're interested in a subject, we organise all the videos on that subject so you can find them easily all together in one place. If you like what we're doing, then please like and subscribe and tell others about the channel so they can come and join as well. We're available in all of the usual social media places, particularly in places like Instagram, Twitter, and we also share all of our 3D designs on Thingiverse.